The UK could be preparing for a showdown with the European Union after outspoken Brexiteer Boris Johnson won the ruling Conservative Party's leadership election. The former Foreign Secretary and London Mayor will take over as Prime Minister after Theresa May officially resigns on Wednesday. Johnson defeated his opponent, the UK's current Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, with around two-thirds of the vote. Johnson now has a political mountain to climb, though, with his party and nation still deeply divided over Brexit. He's refused to rule out a no-deal withdrawal from the EU, despite warnings from the government's own modelling that crashing out will harm the UK economy. But the new Conservative leader is promising to bring the country together, as well as deliver Britain's exit from the EU by the October the 31st deadline.
And we are once again going to believe in ourselves and what we can achieve. And like some slumbering giant, we are going to rise and ping off the guy ropes of self-doubt and negativity. With better education, better infrastructure, more police, fantastic full fibre broadband sprouting in every household, we are going to unite this amazing country and we are going to take it forward. And I thank you all very much for the incredible honour that you have just done me. I will work flat out from now on with my team that I will build, I hope, in the next few days to repay your confidence. But in the meantime, the campaign is over and the work begins.
Well, for more, let's go to Rajneesh Narula in London. He's an international business regulation professor at the University of Reading's Henley Business School. Welcome back to Money Talks, Rajneesh. Now, before we look at the promises that Boris Johnson has made there, he won the vote resoundingly as predicted. Why do you think he was the standout favourite among his Conservative Party members and peers?
Well, I think this is more out of exception rather than anything else, because there was nobody. I feel lacking in any talent whatsoever. The rest of them had even less experience in a senior position, and he's been around for a really long time. Not to mention, of course, that he's been gunning for the Prime Minister job for several years. It's no secret that he wants more than anything else to be Prime Minister.
Yes, now we heard there a long shopping list of promises he's making to the country, but of course all eyes will be on Brexit and whether or not he'll be able to deliver it as he's promised. He says he'll take the UK out of the EU, do or die. Do you think he'll be able to do that?
Well, he will have to take the UK out of the EU, but on what terms is the question. It is possible to do things. I'm not sure it's possible to do it by October 31st, because between now and October 31st, there are 18 working days in Parliament. Parliament is closing down for the summer next week. And so when they come back, they only have 18 working days to pull out, to organize and to approve a plan that will have to will be signed. So it's really hard to imagine how he can do this in 18 days. It's not just 3 months, or it's 18 days. I think that he was unlikely to pull it off, but he will come up with some kind of fudge. He's very good at talking. And I think that's his single biggest skill, is being able to sound like he's doing something without actually doing anything.
Yes, and soon after Boris Johnson's victory, the EU came out and repeated its position that the deal it reached with Theresa May isn't up for renegotiation. Does this mean the UK is staring down the barrel of a no-deal Brexit?
Yes, but I cannot believe he is so ignorant of the economic cost of going for a no-deal Brexit. It makes no sense. And he does have friends and advisors who are business people who are aware of the reality. The United Kingdom is very close to a recession. And if there is indeed a hard Brexit, the UK will suffer from a recession for 3-4 years before it will recover. And this is not a cost that the people who support the slim majority of the Conservative Party will want to accept. Yep. So I feel that he isn't going to act as foolishly as he has claimed to do during his campaign.
Now, these warnings about a no-deal Brexit aren't just coming from his detractors or the opposition, but it's coming from the government's own modelling as well, isn't it? But can you remind us exactly what are the dangers of a no-deal withdrawal? You mentioned a big one there, recession, but how else will it affect the UK economy?
Well, I think immediately all cooperation that we take for granted, for instance, the student exchanges, the approval of degrees and certificates, that is to say, my certificate and my qualification will have no value outside the UK or anywhere else in Europe, and vice versa. It means medicines will have to be approved by the European agency as well as the UK agency, which doesn't, of course, have the capacity to do so. So everything from flights will have to stop because there are the airlines and aircraft have to be certified by the UK agency as well as the European agency. And this kind of goes on for everything from foodstuff to medicines to hospitals to everything, really. And the economy will grind to a halt if there's a hard Brexit.
And not to mention the very sensitive political issue of the Northern Irish border. Rajneesh Narula, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.